Looking back at the last 16 years, the South African Police Services has been a revolving door of scandals, cover-ups, and outright criminality at the highest levels. General Mkhwanazi's recent bombshell allegations exposing corruption within South Africa's criminal justice system should not surprise anyone. They are not an anomaly. They are part of a pattern. Welcome to the Civil Interest Sentinel, the podcast where we unpack public policy discourse in South Africa. I'm Mkhwanazi. Today, we briefly unpack the long, dirty history of corruption in South African police services. Let's start with Jackie Silebi, South Africa's former National Commissioner, convicted in 2010 for corruption and ties to drug lords. Remember, when confronted by the media about his association with known drug dealer Glenn Aliotti, his famous response was, "Glenn Aliotti is my friend, finish and blah." Strangely, when allegations surfaced, all 9 provincial commissioners, led by Mzwandile Petros, the then Western Cape Provincial Commissioner, publicly staked their reputation on his innocence. These weren't just junior officers. They were second highest ranking officers in the SAPS, all reporting directly to the National Commission. Did they truly believe Silebi was clean? Or was this a case of high-ranking officers closing ranks to protect one of their own? Then there is Bheki Cele, fired as National Police Commissioner in 2012 over the lease scandal, where millions were wasted on dodgy police headquarters leases. Cele denied wrongdoing, but the evidence was overwhelming. Yet, instead of facing consequences, he was rewarded by the current president with a cabinet post as the Minister of Police in 2018. The very institution he was fired from for corruption 6 years earlier. And speaking of recycling, how did General Shadrack Sibiya return to the police after he was fired for illegal handing over of Zimbabwean nationals who ended up being killed by the Zimbabwean police? What kind of message does this send, especially to junior officials? The Biagha saga and Phahlane's fall. Next up, Ria Biagha, appointed as the first female National Commissioner, only to be dismissed for incompetence and lying during the Marikana Massacre Commission of Inquiry. She wasn't just unfit, she was accused of covering up police brutality. Speaking about cover-up, let's not forget that Biagha was also alleged to have attempted to shield General Arno Lamour from investigation. We'll get to that later. And so, who replaced Biagha as the acting National Police Commissioner? Khomozo Phahlane, who then also left in disgrace amid corruption charges involving tenders and luxury cars. Phahlane's case is still dragging through the courts, but here's the kicker. He was not just one in a long line of acting commissioners who turned out to be corrupt. It's almost like the system reward bad behavior. Lamour and Sithole scandal. And let's turn to General Arno Lamour, former Western Cape Provincial Commissioner, convicted in 2016 for corruption, money laundering, and taking bribes from drug dealers. This wasn't some low-level officers. This was a man in charge of policing in Western Cape, the so-called cleanest province in the country. And yet, for years, his crimes went unchecked. Then come General Kehla Sithole, successor to Piaga as National Commission. He also left under a cloud of secrecy amid the CR17 farm murder scandal. The allegations that he blocked investigation into the killing of Charles Kanye, along with the claims of intelligence mismanagement. Remember the 45 million Nazareth grabber scandal. Another top cop, another controversy. The bigger picture, system rotten to the core. So when Mkhwanazi come forward with allegation of corruption in the justice system, it did not shock anything. It shouldn't shock anyone. The SAPS has been a breeding ground for criminality for years through the appointment of incompetent people who could be controlled. So there is no question why nothing has changed. It is lack of political will that results into a system where loyalty to the network matters more than loyalty to the law. The persecution of honest officers. Now, let's talk about the other side of the rotten coin. The cops who actually try to do the right thing. While corrupt officers kept climbing the ranks, those who refused to play along were harassed, sidelined, and forced out. Take for an example, a group of officers trained at the police academy in Mkhwanazi between 1992 and 1995. These BA police science graduates were prepared to lead the transformation of the SAPS into a community-focused police service in the new democratic South Africa. But very few were allowed near positions of influence. Instead, they were systematically sidelined, persecuted, and some even pushed out simply because they would not bend to corruption. Corrupt leaders don't tolerate subordinates who ask smart questions. And they weren't alone. Over the years, whistleblowers, honest detectives, and commanders who refused to take bribes or cover up crime found themselves facing bogus disciplinary charges, dead-end transfers. The message has always been clear. In the SAP, integrity is a liability. What happens to Mkhwanazi now? So now we have to ask, what is next for General Mkhwanazi? He made explosive allegations, and if history is any guide, the SAP does not tolerate clean cops who speak up. Will he be the next target? Will he suddenly face disciplinary issues? Or will he just disappear quietly from his post in the next few months? Time will tell. So where does that leave us? With the police service that rewards criminals in uniform and crushes those who actually want to serve and protect protect. Maybe it is the police South Africa deserves. Otherwise, why would we constantly appoint incompetent people to the very top, or keep recycling those with shady pasts? Or it is time for complete reckoning. The President has set up a commission of inquiry headed by Justice Madlanga to investigate these latest claims by General Mkhwanazi. Let's all support the commission. Hopefully, it will uncover evidence to enable the cleaning of the house and stop the recycling of the disgraced officials into new positions. What do you think? Is there any hope for SAPS, or is the road too deep? Let us know your thoughts, and if you found this episode eye-opening, share it, because sunlight is the best disinfectant. Thanks for listening to Civil Interest Sentinel. Until the next time, stay informed and demand better.